It was a sunny afternoon in the quiet suburban neighborhood of Ridgefield. The streets were lined with tall trees and children's laughter echoed as they played in their front yards. Among them was a 16-year-old girl named Amara. She was a bright, kind-hearted teenager who loved cycling around the neighborhood. Amara had her usual routine: finish her schoolwork, grab her favorite bike, and ride to the park a few blocks away. This was her time to relax, enjoy the fresh air, and clear her mind. That afternoon, she had just reached the park. She locked her bike at the entrance and walked to the swings, listening to music on her headphones. She smiled at the kids playing nearby, enjoying their carefree joy. Amara had no idea that her peaceful day was about to turn into something she would never forget. A patrol car slowly rolled into the park's parking lot. Inside was Officer Thomas, a man in his late 40s with a hardened demeanor. He had been on the force for years, but his attitude toward people was far from professional. Thomas often let his biases cloud his judgment, and today was no exception. From his car, Thomas spotted Amara sitting on the swings. His eyes narrowed as he took in her appearance, a young black girl in casual clothes, alone in a park in an affluent neighborhood. He immediately assumed she didn't belong there. Thomas stepped out of the car, adjusting his belt. His heavy boots crunched on the gravel as he approached Amara. "Hey, you." He called out loudly, his tone sharp. Amara took off her headphones and looked up, startled. "Me?" she asked politely. "Yes, you," Thomas snapped. "What are you doing here?" Amara was confused. "I'm just sitting on the swings," she replied calmly. "Is there a problem?" Thomas crossed his arms and glared at her. "This park isn't for just anyone. Do you even live around here?" Amara's heart sank. She could feel his hostility. "Yes, I live a few blocks away," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. Thomas didn't believe her. "Do you have ID?" he demanded. Amara hesitated. "I don't carry ID when I go biking," she said. "But I promise I'm not doing anything wrong." Thomas scoffed. "Not doing anything wrong? You look suspicious just sitting here. I need to check your bag." Amara's eyes widened. "Why?" "I haven't done anything." Thomas raised his voice. "Don't talk back to me. Show me your bag now." Amara felt tears welling up in her eyes, but she handed over her bag, hoping to avoid further confrontation. Thomas rummaged through it, finding nothing but her water bottle, a book, and a granola bar. "What are you really doing here?" Thomas shouted. Amara's hands trembled. "I told you. I'm just here to relax." Thomas stepped closer, towering over her. "Don't lie to me. People like you don't belong in this area." Amara was stunned. She could feel the other park visitors staring, some whispering, but no one stepped in to help. She swallowed her fear and said, "Sir, I'm not lying. If you don't believe me, you can call someone." Thomas smirked. "Oh, I'll call someone, all right. Stay right here." He pulled out his radio and called for backup. "I've got a suspicious individual at Ridgefield Park. Might need to bring them in for questioning." Amara couldn't believe what she was hearing. She hadn't done anything wrong, yet she was being treated like a criminal. About 10 minutes later, another patrol car pulled up. Out stepped a tall woman in her late 40s with a commanding presence. Her uniform was crisp, and her badge gleamed in the sunlight. It was Chief Daniels, Amara's mother. Chief Daniels had been nearby when she heard Thomas's radio call. She decided to check it out herself, not knowing it involved her daughter. As she approached, she saw Amara standing by the swings, looking scared and confused. Her heart dropped. "Amara!" she called out. Amara turned and ran to her mother, tears streaming down her face. "Mom! He's accusing me of... I don't even know what." Thomas froze when he realized who Chief Daniels was addressing. His face turned pale. "Mom, I didn't know she was..." Chief Daniels held up her hand to silence him. "What exactly is going on here, Officer Thomas?" she asked, her voice cold and firm. Thomas stammered, I thought she looked suspicious. She doesn't look like she belongs here." Chief Daniels narrowed her eyes. "And what does someone who belongs here look like, Officer Thomas? Explain that to me." Thomas shifted uncomfortably. I was doing my job. Your job? Chief Daniels repeated, her voice rising. Your job is to serve and protect, not to harass innocent people based on your assumptions. The park had gone completely silent. Everyone was watching the scene unfold. Chief Daniels turned to Amara. Are you okay, sweetie? Amara nodded, wiping her tears. I'm fine now, Mom. I don't understand why he treated me like that. Chief Daniels took a deep breath, trying to control her anger. She looked back at Thomas. Officer Thomas, you've been on the force long enough to know better. Your actions today were unacceptable. Meet me in my office first thing tomorrow morning. We will be discussing your future with this department. Thomas opened his mouth to protest but quickly shut it when he saw the fire in her eyes. He nodded meekly. Yes, Chief Daniels put her arm around Amara and led her away from the crowd. Let's go home, she said softly. The next day, Officer Thomas sat nervously in Chief Daniels' office. He tried to apologize, but Chief Daniels wasn't having it. Your behavior yesterday was disgraceful, she said firmly. You let your biases affect your judgment, and you harassed an innocent girl, my daughter, because of it. This department has no place for officers who act like that. Thomas tried to defend himself. I didn't know she was your daughter. If I had, it doesn't matter who she is. Chief Daniels interrupted. Every person deserves respect, regardless of who they are. Your job is to uphold the law, not to act as judge, jury, and executioner. Word of the incident spread quickly throughout the community. People were outraged by Thomas's actions, but they were also impressed by Chief Daniels' swift response. She held a press conference to address the situation, emphasizing the importance of accountability and fairness in law enforcement. No one is above the law, and no one should be targeted because of how they look, Chief Daniels said. We must do better as a community to ensure that everyone feels safe and respected. Amara's story became a powerful example of standing up against injustice. With her mother's support, she found the courage to speak out and help bring about change. The incident led to mandatory bias training for the entire police department, ensuring that no one else would have to go through what Amara did. As for Officer Thomas, he was suspended from duty pending further investigation. He had learned a hard lesson about the consequences of his actions. In the end, Amara's experience became a turning point for the community, reminding everyone that respect and equality are the foundation of a just society. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful tales like this. Share this video to spread awareness and inspire others to stand up for what's right. Thank you for watching.